Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
Hello, it is JP. Hey, today I'm going to share a personal story about a pivotal moment in my second career, the day I almost quit the racing sponsorship business and how it led me to rethink the way I was approaching return on investment for clients. Let's set the stage first. I was a Washington, D.C. executive for about 30 years and had my own consulting firm for 13 of those. That firm used motorsports marketing to help grow our brand and business. And I sold the business. And I'm blessed in that scenario and decided to sell racing sponsorships in my new career. And no one is luckier than I am. My clients are Santino Ferrucci of AJ Foyt Racing and IndyCar, the four-time USAC Sprint Car champion Brady Bacon, and the unbelievable up-and-coming NASCAR driver Taylor Reimer. So let's talk about 2 years ago. For 6 months, we had been developing a business-to-business program with a race partner for a sponsorship client. The deal was substantial. $250,000, $250,000 for the race team in year one if one business did business with another business. Everything seemed to be going pretty smooth. Been working it hard for about half a year until we hit a major roadblock. The race partner suddenly decided to go with another vendor. And the product was essentially the same, but there was one crucial difference. The new vendor didn't support the race team with B2B revenue. In other words, the race team would not get the $250,000. So the deal didn't happen. And I was frankly devastated. And in the moment I said, man, I'm out of this racing business. It's just too quirky, not dependable. The unpredictability and the feeling that my hard work had gone undone and was not recognized was really a low point for me. So I then forced myself to pause and think it through. Man, if I quit, what would be next? How would I explain this to my colleagues, my family, myself? I realized something else that was very important. Quitting can become an easy habit, even when you're 59 years old. So if I walked away now, I might find myself doing it again and again whenever the next challenge came up, whether it was personal or professional. Moreover, I understood that if I quit, I wouldn't learn anything from this, and the racing business was frankly pretty new. There would be no opportunity to grow or improve or to become better at what I did if I just quit after this misstep and unfortunate conclusion. I think I realized that by quitting, I was letting others decide what I was going to do. They would decide my fate. They would be the ones determining whether I was out or in this racing business. And that, frankly, was unacceptable. And in a way, as I contemplated it, it started to fire me up. So now I reload. But how do I do it differently? Instead of quitting, how do I get the fire and go again? But this time with a different focus, a different approach. I realize that to succeed in this, I need to shift my focus dramatically to return on investment for my prospects. I need to show them the true value of racing sponsorship in ways that they've never even thought about it, especially companies that have never been in motorsports before. The first circumstance that I told you earlier about was me being frankly super focused on the race team and less on the end client. Because if the business deal is not good for the prospective sponsor, it ain't going to happen. So Here's how I refit, and I talked about the value of racing sponsorships now. ROI in the RPM. This is now a comprehensive approach to showcase the unique benefits of racing sponsorships. I want to make this less about racing, but all about the options you get with this platform. Racing is just a vehicle, pun intended, to move forward. So number one, I think about the person-to-person engagement. There's nothing quite like experiencing the Indy 500 firsthand, for example. So if you take a client or a group of clients, they will never forget you. I guarantee it. Number two, broadcast television value. Racing provides similar exposure to commercials. If you're running up front and people are seeing your brand, they recognize it. It's almost like buying a TV commercial without buying a TV commercial. It's added value. Number three, the amplification through team channels. Taylor Reimer has more than 100,000 followers on social media. You get additional driver and team social media, and even the racing series will cover your brand when the sponsorship is announced. I did a program with Brady Bacon. That son of a gun got over 1 million engagements for the Petroleum Alliance of Oklahoma in a 2-week time frame. They are great at what they do, but I don't know if they can get 1 million likes and engagements on their own. So the amplification is big. IP through digital photography and those assets. When you launch a program and you've got pictures of the livery of this new race car with your brand, it's something that you can use forever in your own marketing materials. It's an incredibly visual asset. And oh, by the way, you can go to the racetrack and get that car screaming around the racetrack and doing all sorts of cool stuff. You can use that too. The next thing, enhancement of existing programs. What I mean by that is your brand is probably already going to trade shows and things like that. Can you imagine showing up with one of my race drivers, the guy that's going to win the next Indianapolis 500 with a show car? Can you imagine how much more traffic you're going to get at the booth when you've got that opportunity? So the key insight here is that when I took the loss, I decided to reframe and make racing partnerships much more about a diverse platform for marketers. Motorsports isn't about a car going around the track and your logo on it. It's a delivery mechanism for a heck of a lot more than that. So, looking back, I'm glad I didn't quit that day. By pushing through and refocusing, I not only saved my second career, but found a way to provide even more value, I hope, to my clients. Remember, when you face a setback, don't think about quitting. Instead, how can I reload? How can I come back stronger and better than ever? Thank you for listening today. Please subscribe to my newsletter in the show notes or visit jpmurray.com to sign up. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.